Hopefully you're going to join me soon. So we're going to start, tonight we're going to focus on working our hips. I was thinking we would do about 20 to 30 minutes of just some hip exercises, focus on the lower back, and do some pelvic floor exercises. So why don't we get started? We're just going to come into sitting nice and tall and just start focusing on our breath. So you want to just bring your awareness down to your baby, into your belly. Just start to focus on taking nice deep breaths in and out. Allow your palms to face up on your knees. Relaxing your shoulders. And just closing your eyes and just taking a moment to let the entire day go. And just bring yourself right to this moment here, centering yourself. Without any force or control, just slowly allowing the breath to get deeper, allowing your body to ease into a nice relaxed state. We've got my bird giving us nice live music today. Good. Couple of deep breaths in and out. When you're ready, we're just going to inhale, reach those hands all the way up high. Interlace your fingers, press those palms up. Just gently rocking from side to side. Good, stretching out through the side body. Good, and then let it go. We're just going to start with our right foot here. Let's just take that right leg, bring it up on top of the knee. We're just going to lean into that. So I want you to just keep your ankle up right up on top of your knee. And then just ease into that. Try to lift the rib cage up away from the belly. Stay with the breath. Good, and then let's switch. Let's take this leg down, let's do the other side. So we want to focus on this class on just really getting into our hips. Just making some space here, releasing any tension that you're feeling in the lower back. So with your ankle here up on top of the knee, you're just going to lean forward. Breathe into that. Good. And then from here, let's release. Let's just bring both our feet to touch, elbows out towards the knees. Good. Folding your forehead forward. Perfect. Hi, thanks for joining. So we're focusing on hips today and a little bit of pelvic floor. So from here, I want you to just start to sit back into your mat a little bit. We're just gonna, I'll just turn sideways. I want you to just round your back, chin to your chest, and just press. I want you to feel like you're opening up your shoulders. Good, and then just roll it forward. And then again, roll your chin to your chest, round your back. Good. And then roll it all the way up forward. So let's just start releasing some of that tension that we've got here at the shoulders, at the neck. Rolling forward. Good. And then rolling back. Good stuff. And then let's come up. So let's come up onto the knees. So we're going to go right into a hamstring stretch. I want to keep your class to about 20 to 30 minutes today, just so that you get a good stretch and really get into our hips today. Okay, so let's just take our right leg forward. So let's come right into our hamstring stretch. If you have a ball, a birth ball, you can go ahead and use it here and then just bring your body weight down. If you don't have a ball, then just feel free to bring your hands down. So whatever you're comfortable with. If you have a ball, feel free to use it. I want you to just lengthen up through the spine as you fold into that. Good. and then let's release. Let's do the other side. So if you're using your ball, you keep your ball handy. Take your leg up nice and straight. So I'll just turn this way. So leg is straight, spine straight, fold forward. Hope you're having a good day today. Nice weather outside. Good stuff. And then let's lift that up. Okay, we're just going to place the ball aside here. So just placing your ball aside, let's just come down into cat-cow. So just rounding your back, rolling your back, belly inch into the chest. And then release, look up, belly down, breathe. Good, a few more cat-cows. Good stuff. And then let's press into the hands. Let's come into our first downward dog. So just pushing into your hands. You want to lift those sit bones up high. So let's just start to pedal our feet here in downward dog. Oh, it feels so good to get a good stretch. Open those fingers wide. Sit bones up high. Stay with the breath. Good. And then let's take child's pose. So drop your knees down, toes to touch. Sit down into it. Again, now if you're going to use the ball for your child's pose, all you've got to do is sit down onto your feet, knees wide. Place the ball out in front of you. And you can just place your forehead down on the ball and just give yourself a little rock from side to side. The important thing is that you're feeling the tailbone sinking down towards your feet. So you want to just let that all that energy melt towards your mat. Okay, nice couple of deep breaths. And then let's move that ball aside, take it back to your downward dog. Feel free to comment in the video if you want me to focus on anything for tomorrow's class. Don't forget tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock we have our regular prenatal class here again. So lift those hip bones high, focus on your downward dog, bend your knees back and forth. So let's take it right into pigeon. So we want to get right into the hips. We're going to take that right knee forward, left leg goes back. And just sink those hips down towards the mat. So let's stay up onto the fingertips here for a couple of breaths. I'm just going to turn my mat here for you so you can get a better visual. Okay, so we want to slide this leg all the way back and just let those hips sink. Okay, breathe deep. So you want to focus on softening the shoulders. Stay with the breath. If your partners are at home with you, you should get them to join you on the mat and do some stretches as well. Good. And then just soften the elbows down. Breathe deep. Okay, and then now from here, I want you to just start letting those shoulders relax towards the mat. Let your hips start to soften and release. Good, and then we're going to just start to walk those hands back, and let's just press it right back into our downward dog. Press into those hands, sit bones high. Good, walking your dog. And then let's take that other foot forward, find your pigeon. So we're taking that knee out to the side edge of the mat, and make sure that you keep your body centered. Let's soften those shoulders. Don't forget to slide that leg back as far as you can so that you've got some space here to open up your hip flexor. That muscle right here. And then just holding it here, stay on your fingers, breathe deep. And then let's just start to relax. Okay, soften your shoulders and just stay with the breath. Maybe as you're holding here for a few breaths, just see if you can take it a little bit deeper, ultimately trying to get your forehead towards the floor. Really good stretch to get those hips to open up and get some of that tension out of your back and your shoulders. Good, and then we're going to start to lift those fingers back, lift your chest. Good stuff. One more downward dog, take it back. Good. Bend those knees back and forth. And I want you to just start to walk your feet forward. And let's just take a ragdoll here. Hold on to those elbows. Relax forward. Good. And then inhale. Let's reach those hands all the way up high. Big breath in. Good. And then release. So we're going to step out to the side edge of the mat. So let's just focus on opening up here through the lower back and just working on our inner thighs here. Pelvic floor. So I want you to think about pulling the belly up in towards your spine a little bit. So whatever muscles you can feel there, just give them a nice little squeeze. Let's like focus on working on your Kegel. And then let's bend those knees. Open those knees up towards your baby toes. Feel those inner thighs. And just sit right down into that. Breathe deep. Stay with the breath. And then let's straighten those legs. Let's go forward. Lift your sit bones up. Fold forward. So I want you to think about keeping those knees straight. So if you're finding that your knees are bending like this, you can just lift up through the chest a little bit. Bring your hands onto your thighs and lengthen through the chest. If you want to use your ball, which is a great opportunity here for the ball, just place the ball up in front of you. And then bring your forehead forward. So if you don't have a birth ball, for Monday's class at 7 p.m., I'm going to try to do most of the class with the ball. So if you can get a ball over the weekend, that would be great. I will give you the options if you don't have the ball for the exercises as well. And then don't forget Tuesday, if you're on the list or if you're not, to send me an email if you want to get into the Zoom call. We're going to start the birth classes via Zoom twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. to help you get ready for birth. So Tuesday's class, we're going to start on cardinal movements of the baby. What does the baby do during labor? Okay, so make sure you let me know that you want to join that Zoom class Tuesday at 7. Good. So from here, what we're going to do is come right down into frog. So I want to focus on those hips. So let's bring those hands down and then just drop those knees. So when you come into your frog, you got to make sure that your knees are wider than your hips and your toes are out wider than your knees. Okay? So we don't want the feet back here. We want the feet to come out wide as we can to the outside edges of the mat. And then let's drop those elbows down and let's sit back. Good. Just pressing back. Breathe deep. And once you start to feel your body releasing, you want to ease into it. Take it back a little further. Make sure you're checking to those feet aren't creeping back to the inside here. Keep those toes wide so that you stay right engaged in your hips. Good. And then let's come out of our frog pose and let's come right into our cat-cow here, so pressing into your hands, rounding your back. Belly down, look up, really moving through your spine. Breathe into it nice and deep. Good. And then downward dog. Press into your hands, lift those sit bones up. Bend your knees back and forth. Okay, so let's take this right into a lunge. So just step your right foot to the front corner of your mat, drop your back knee. So again, with the ball, if you want to use your ball, you can place that ball out to the side here. So what you want to focus on is that your inner thigh moves away from your belly as much as possible. So let's think about giving baby lots of space. Even if your partner's doing the class with you, not pregnant, you want to focus on moving that thigh away from the body. So just giving it a little turn. Feel the hips open up right away. And then just allow your body to ease into that here. Okay, so just find that comfortable place. Maybe staying on your hands is where you're going to stay. If you want to go a little bit deeper, you feel like your body's got that space to release, then just start working those elbows down towards the mat. And just take a few breaths here. Let those hips really sink down into it. Good. And then let's take it back to dog, stretch it out. Bend those knees back and forth. And then we're gonna just take that other foot, step it forward, big step. Try to get a nice wide step. And then again, we want to think about opening the thigh up away from the belly. Baby needs lots of space here as we work this lunge. So if you're using the ball goes right up in front of you. And then we just release and hold it here. Stay with the breath. Let your body ease into that stretch. Just think about softening and surrendering and letting go. And if you're comfortable, the elbows come right down towards the mat. Good. And then let's lift that up. Press into those hands, downward dog. Bend those knees back and forth, really working through your downward dog. And then let's walk those feet forward. Inhale, raise those hands up high, big breath in. Good. And then just bringing your hands in. So let's take a warrior two, so we can open up our hips here, focus on the hips a little more. Pull the belly in, send your knee forward, arms up. Focus on reaching those fingers outward. Stay with the breath. Soften the shoulders. And let's think about as if somebody was taking your inner thighs here, just giving them a roll away from each other, like rolling your thighs back. Soften your shoulders. So we're going to humble here. What we're going to do is take those hands behind the back, lift the chest, and then I want you to fold to the inside of that thigh. And then just work those arms up. Nice big intense stretch here. Work those fingers up towards the ceiling. Good. And then lift it up. Right back to warrior two. Stay with the breath. Good. And then step your feet together. Okay, take a breath here. And then let's do the other side. Step your other foot back. Okay, warrior two. Send your knee over your ankle, arms up. Feel those inner thighs rolling out towards your baby toes, arms up. Think about your shoulders. So if you're in class, when I come around and I'm gradually grabbing your shoulders and giving them that light touch to soften, make a mindful effort to just feel those shoulders melting away from your ears. Really tapping into that stress you might be harboring in your chest, in the back of the neck, and use this time to just breathe that away. Good. Let's get ready to humble. So let's take those hands behind the back. Fold to the inside of your front thigh. Reach those fingers upward. Good. Really let your upper body soften into this. Good. We're going to lift it back up. Warrior two, big stretch. Reach those fingers outward. And then let's take it back to the front of the mat. Okay? And we're going to ragdoll that out. So I want you to come into a squat here. So we're just going to start to move our feet. And I want you to just start to sink down low. So you're either going to stay up on your toes, heels up off the floor. You're going to drop those heels, whatever you're comfortable with. I want you to work your elbows to the inside of your knees. Push into your hands, open those inner thighs, and just breathe. Great exercise with the ball. So if you have a ball, coming into your squat and just leaning over the ball. So what I want you to feel is that sinking of the tailbone towards the floor. But at the same time, I want you to pull the belly in as much as you can. So all those muscles that you can possibly feel around the baby, just see if you can give them a little squeeze up. Add your Kegel exercise here. Get strong through your pelvic floor and just breathe. Deep breaths in and out. Really feel those inner thighs opening up. And then let's press out, ragdoll that out. Allowing your body just to shift from side to side. Good. And then just sink it down low. Bring those elbows back in towards your knees. Stay with the breath. And then we're going to take a seat. Okay, so just have a seat on the mat. Extend those legs out. And then just start to fold forward. Breathing deep. Just taking your forward fold, lengthen upward through the chest. Good. And then let's take the right foot, cross it over the left thigh, and I want you to turn and twist that out. Good. And then let it go. Let's do the other side. Twist that out. Nice deep breath, sit up tall. Good, and then bring it back together here. And then let's just take it, roll onto our back. We're just gonna take this up into bridge. I want you to press into your feet, lift those hips. I want you to really focus on lifting those hips up off the mat. Roll those shoulders underneath your back. Good, and then take those hips down, knees in. Tiny little circles. Good, and just take your feet back down. Let's lift those hips all the way up. Good, hips down, knees in. Tiny little circles. And I want you to just drop your knees towards the right. Just keep your head neutral, turn your knees all the way down. Just feel your shoulders relaxing down into the mat. Good, and then just take those knees to the center. We're going all the way over to the other side.